probably like spinning the most, actually, but I'm best at weaving, and I'm probably most proficient at dyeing. And I like spinning the best because, on the one hand, it can be extremely relaxing. I mean, I can do it when I'm almost doing anything else. It's a very Zen, meditative sort of activity. On the other hand, I like to be challenged, and it does have aspects like learning how to do some of the funky art spinning yarns, which can be a whole lot of fun and challenge your hands as well as your mind.
So I got back into spinning probably 10 or 15 years ago. And then I really got into it. And now I have a collection of, like everybody else, a lot of fiber. Makes me happy. It's really been during the pandemic, all that stuff has been what has helped my mental health, my happiness, and I feel lucky to have had that to fall back on. Quite the challenge, and what I've noticed within the past year is that little things to get myself better in spinning and the fiber work has been offered as an opportunity, and I have been able to say, okay, I'm just going to do that and try it. I felt very nervous about it because I want to be a good teammate, and I want to have my yarn be, consistent, and I don't want to have it break. I don't want to have it be too thick or too thin, just right. But it was quite the challenge because I am a little more loosey-goosey about stuff, and but it was very good for me, and it's been it's forcing me to address technical skills for getting better, and however I use it in the future just depends. There's nothing wrong with building up your technical skills to get better at whatever you do. Then you choose what to do with it.
My husband took a sabbatical, and we went to New Zealand for 6 months and he worked there. And there I met the New Zealand spinners and weavers, and we lived for 3 months in Auckland, and I didn't have a wheel there, but then we moved to Palmerston North, and I met, through a friend of my son's, a lady who was in the Spinning and Weaving Guild, and they lent me a wheel, and I improved. It was surprising to me when the guild met on a Monday morning, and there would be 50 ladies there spinning away, and they gave me lots of tips. I always remember one spinner who told me, well, I think the best thing when you start learning to spin is get yourself a glass of wine and just get relaxed and you'll be fine. So, but I did. I had some good lessons there and got to where I could spin a yarn that I could knit with. And, I had a lot of fun there in New Zealand, and I have always felt that was where I really learned to spin. And my first books were the New Zealand Woolcraft book and the Ashford Book of Spinning, which Anne Field wrote, and those New Zealand spinners, Anne Field, Margaret Stove, were my teachers and my heroes, the people I've always looked up to.
And that was what year?
That would have been 1985. I think spinning, they all have their good points, but spinning is something you can sit down and do, and it's very relaxing. Reading, I think, to me is eternally interesting, and this is where, going back to my childhood, my maternal grandfather's name was Charles Slater, and Slater was the name of the man. Richard Slater was the man who smuggled the plans for the mechanical weaving things to this country. And I was very interested when we had convergence in Providence, I made a special trip by myself to the Slater Mills there to see them, because Slater was a common name and there's absolutely no basis to the thought that we could be related. But I do feel that when I got into weaving it, I really did not intend to take it up. Just was taking a weaving class to see what the weavers were talking about and all this vocabulary. And I was surprised myself, how it just grabbed me, and I kind of felt, oh, this is something I have to do. And I do find it still really intriguing, and like they would say, the art so long and life so short, you could never learn everything there is to know about weaving. So that's some work to set up your loom and think about plan and weave. And then dyeing is just pure fun. It's and magic, magic in the water is my thinking of what I'm dyeing. I just love doing that. Not that I'm any good at it, but it certainly is fun to do.
I did the festival about 12 years ago when I was living in the DC area, and it was really exciting, although it came in last. But it still was really interesting and fun to do. So to be able to do that from Austin, Texas was pretty exciting. And since we have all been pretty much locked down, most of the people on my team are over 65, and so we've been pretty isolated. Fortunately, we have had Zoom, and that's kept us having guild meetings and study groups and things like that. But still, the fact that most of us are now inoculated, it just became a really good opportunity for us to get together and kind of celebrate the fact that we're getting out of this isolation that we've been in slowly but surely. But being part of the team was really, really helpful. It seems like when I'm weaving by myself, and I oftentimes make mistakes that I kick myself for, and it was really nice to have the other members who were kind of had my back and corrected me when I made mistakes in my calculations, which oftentimes was causing them to have to make more yarn than they really needed to make. So that was really fun, and it was also fun to kind of have a say in some of the process for the spinning. So it's like we all worked together and worked out our processes and worked out what we needed to do for the competition. So it made it a lot of fun.
I didn't have any cowboy shoes.
Very clean and very low gear.
with 17 minutes and 37 seconds left to go, I ran out of yarn. And it was pretty clear that I wouldn't be able to actually finish the 70 inches that I needed, even if I had the yarn. So with disappointment, I stopped weaving. Email to the team. Subject: World created a cruel April Fool's Day joke. Only 56 inches unwashed. I ran out of yarn with 17 minutes and 37 seconds left on the timer. So my attitude is that we created a beautiful lap rug instead of a shawl. But I will do my best to finish it with all the respect I can muster. I'm not going to put it around my shoulders until it's fringed. I'll send a picture after it's washed and dried. We had a lovely time together and made something beautiful. Who says short isn't beautiful also? Email from Sandy. Well, that's too bad we didn't get the 70 inches needed, but I'm certain we'll have a beautiful and well-designed shawl to submit to the judges. I learned a great deal in this process and thoroughly enjoyed myself to boot. Sandy.
We haven't gotten together in over a year. We didn't have our spinning and weaving art event in May that we usually have, which is tons of fun, and we've done on Zoom. I think our group has been fabulous about how we've met on Zoom, and we have been able to continue our connections. We've been able to continue building skills. We've been able to have fun, and that has been really important. But man, today was just like a shot of joy, because hanging out with people, being safe, because that's still important, and acknowledging the importance of the connection that we have with each other. So, fabulous.